Hi, good afternoon, folks. In this video, let's take a look at the roster as it stands this very moment. Coming up. All right, guys, I'm home all day today, so I'm putting up a video now. I want to put up a few later, and I know I'm way behind in all my comments. I just have not had any time the last 48 hours. I'm going to jump on that too today. After I got guests coming over, after that's done, I'm jumping on more videos and answering, replying, whatever it is. Okay, now what I wanted to do in this video, I just want to break down our roster the way it is right now, this very minute. Let's take a look at it and let's discuss it. And let's throw some ideas at each other, what we think can improve it. All right, so I broke it. I'm just putting where I think it's possible. They could be first, second, third, fourth line. First line, I got Olofsson, Eichel, Skinner. Yes, I know I got Jack there because he's still on the roster. No other reason, you know. We're going to come to that at the very end. So Olofsson, Eichel, Skinner on the top line. Okay, on the second line, I got Bjork, Mittelstadt, and Thompson. And I know that a lot of you might have Cousins. I think we should put Mittelstadt as number 2. He's more ready now, I think, than ever. On the third line, I got Asplund, Cousins, and Hinostroza. And only because I was doing a little digging, looking at the numbers, it makes sense to have this guy in the third line, looking at the numbers. You know, he's got something like 38 goals or something. It's just makes sense the way I looked at it. And okay, in the bottom fourth line, I got Jurgensen, Eakin, and Okposo. Now, I know Okposo and Hinostroza could flip. I do know that. And so could Asplund and Jurgensen easily flip, you know. Cousins is a very solid, I think that's a very healthy position for him as our third center this year. And anyway, we're going to get back to that at the end. All right. Left defense, I got Dahlin. Right defense, I got Jokiharju. I was going to flip Miller with Jokiharju for the record. A second pairing, I got Haig and Miller. And third pairing, I got Butcher and Pysyk. And I got, that's a goaltender, sorry. Yeah, I should have went over here. I got Kadula, Hayden, and McKinnon scratched for the forwards. So, of course, they could fit in there some point down here, right? We know that. And scratched have Bryson for defense. I have him scratched. And, of course, he could fit in there also, you know. Haig might bomb out with us. We don't know yet. We just don't know. Haig, I put him at second pairing just because of his hitting history. And Miller could easily flip to the first pairing. But I honestly think they're going to go with a lot of Dahlin and Jokiharju. I really do. It's time that the kids take over, you know. So I do think we're going to go that way. There'll be some learning curves, of course. But, hey, we got to do it at some point. We got to go through the growing pains. And, of course, in net, I got Anderson and Dell in nets. So, of course, we know this is the big hole, guys. Come on. I mean, we all know this. You know, we know Jack's not going to be there. Are we going to get some sort of centerman in a deal or not? That's capable of being a first-line center. We're probably not. Realistically, we're probably not going to have a first-line center on this team this year. But the truth is, guys, a lot of the NHL, a lot of teams in the NHL really don't have a first center. You think the Montreal Canadiens, who just went to the finals, really had a first center? No, they've been lacking it for years. They still made the finals. So what I'm saying is we can have a bunch of second and third line centers, and who's ever playing very well is obviously in the top. You know? I think that's the best way to go, depending what we get in this deal. Oh, let me put on my light. I didn't put my light on here. There we go. So, I don't know. This is kind of where I stand with it. I'm sure you guys have other ideas also, but pretty much, I mean, we can't, there's just no way to turn this roster into a powerhouse, right? All right, let's flip it. I want to look at something else with you guys, and I want to get this up online. All right. Now, I got possible youth that could cut the team play time. Cut the team's kind of a big one. I would say get some time in this year, you know. Arttu Ruotsalainen, we've seen some promise with him. He's 23, so I'm guessing he's going to get time. He scored, I believe it was 5-6 goals for us in like 20 games or something. I think he's going to get some time in, okay? He'll probably get some time in. Now, question mark, Jack Quinn. Will we see any of Jack Quinn this year? I know he's 19, you know, turning 20. Will he be getting any time? Maybe. Might see a few games. Not much, but he might get a few games in. It depends. It really depends on what's going on. Now, I know JJ Peterka, okay, he played a ton. I was doing some research into him. He played a lot of games, folks, during COVID. He really made sure he was playing. So he's got a lot of games in. He might be able to get some time in. These are the only three that I put there. But don't forget, I'm looking at youth. I'm not looking at all our depth. I'm looking at strictly the youth. On defense, there's Ryan Johnson. He's 20 now. And, of course, Owen Power, as we know. And Mattias Samuelsson, who might get some time in. Very possible he might get some time. The odds, the favorite will be Samuelsson here and Ruotsalainen here. I'm guessing that would get the time in. Now, here's something I was interested in, okay? I was trying to figure out, why wouldn't we have went for a goalie in the first round? There had to have been a motive why not. And it can't just be Isaac Rosen. It just can't be only that, right? And then I was thinking Eric Portillo. You know, we're always talking about UPL, but you know, Eric Portillo, his numbers were really good, very good. And he's 6'6". He's 20 now. I know he's young. He's 20. Luukkonen is 22, so of course he's going to come up first. He'll be our, you know. But I put it this way, what I'm saying is it wouldn't shock me in the future if Portillo became the guy. Remember when we thought Marty Biron was the guy? He was the guy. We thought he was the guy. It was this big draft, and we were sure about, and it turned out to be Ryan Miller, who eventually came up and took the reins as number one. Portillo could be that guy. I just want to leave it at that. He could be that guy. His numbers were just excellent. He's 6'6" and he's 20, so he's going to grow another year. And I like having big goalies too, don't get me wrong. And of course, Devin Levi, he's 19. He's only 19, and he's 6 foot even. But of course, you know, if you're an outstanding goalie, you know, you can pretty much make up for that with speed and flexibility. You know, it's not like the Dominator was that big, right? It wasn't a giant. So that's who, of course, you know, if I'm going to look at the ones I'm going to keep eyes on in here, just going with just gut feelings of how I feel. JJ Peterka, not to write off Jack Quinn, of course. You know what? I'm going to say Owen Power, even though it looks like he's going back to school. And I think he has unfinished business over there on that team. And that's what it is with some of those guys. And I'm going to put Portillo as the dark horse. These are just the dark horses I'm saying that could maybe slip into the system, get some time in, and really impress, you know? But that, I only put 3 of each. And here's the thing, when I was looking too at our depth charts, I know it's not that impressive, our centermen. You know, this is why you can never draft enough centermen. God. You know, and of course, as you all know, right defenseman also. You know, these are all left defensemen, by the way. So, all right, let's flip it back. And there's the question mark, folks. That's it. What do we get for Jack? You know, this is what the question is. Is there any possibility in this deal that we can get some nice picks back? It doesn't have to be, you know, just a nice package back, but is it possible that we can get back some sort of centerman in that deal that can slide into the top 2 or 3 even, and that way we can kind of rotate these guys and teach them? Just my thinking, because I really don't see any other. I don't see any other thing happening with our depth chart here. That's for sure. And we've got to get. I really believe now, like when I broke this down, it's like, oh God, we really do need to get some sort of centers in this deal. We really do for Jack, you know. Because really, we don't want to throw Middlestat right into number one or Cousins. You know what I mean? We can't do that. We learned that mistake putting Middlestat to replace Ryan O'Reilly. That totally backfired. You'll remember that, right? Right now, I'd say he's okay to do it. Less pressure. He looked good. He's good under Granato. It looked really good. It looked like really it's going to happen now with Middlestat, you know? So Middlestat, it's almost like we wrecked him. He went down, we brought him back, and he came back from the dead and said, yes, I can still play here. So credit to him. That's it. And yes, we're going to need, of course, to get a fourth line center also. You know, unless Eakin really impresses this year somehow. Or we could flip Jurgensen's and Eakin can do some time in the wing, and Jurgensen's, we know, can play center as well. We'll see. I don't know. I just don't know. You know, the defense doesn't look too shabby. You throw Power's name into there for a few games would be nice. All right, guys, that's it. I just wanted to throw this at you, see how you felt about it, what your ideas are. You know, this is going to drive me crazy till we get that resolved. You know, but if we get a big package back for Jack and there's still no center, can we really complain? No, because then we got less problems elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's call it there. Let's call the video there. I'm going to see you guys later on. I'm going to throw this up. I'm going to disappear for just a bit longer until this evening, and I'll see all you folks later on tonight. Have a good one till then.